Alrighty. Hey everybody, it's Modern Native. Let's try this again. So I wanted to first off answer a question or respond to the answers to my question when most people talked about comfort being their main issue when it comes to survival in the outdoors. I'm hanging out, getting ready to start a fire, hang out with everybody, answer any questions or anything like that that some people might have, or just hang out and share my thoughts. Uh, One of the biggest things that I've discovered or that I found out with through my questionnaire is people struggle with comfort in the outdoors and survival. So, like I said, I'm out here starting to snow again, and pretty sure it's dipping below zero. Uh, but I'm used to being out in the cold. I'm used to dealing with it. I'm used to doing stuff outside and dealing with the cold. So I'm used to it. And I enjoy being in the outdoors. I enjoy being out in the cold. So it doesn't bother me. And it's the same thing for any activity, any um, discomfort, or any activity, really. If you're not used to doing it, if you're not used to what you are subjecting yourself to, then you will struggle, you'll be uncomfortable. But if you're used to doing it, you're used to pushing your limits, seeing what you can do and how far you can go, and you can do it. It's more comfortable. So I made a little fire starter using a piece of an egg carton, some grease, and some shavings from around the wood stove, packed it all together inside of a tissue, and put it inside of an egg carton. So I'm going to see how it works. My stuff's been getting snowed on, had a little technical difficulties, but hopefully we're getting going. Got some poplar wood, some birch, and might be a couple pieces of oak or maple hanging in this. Building the log house style fire because we're hanging out by the log cabin. So, hey Cynthia, how's it going? Just breaking up some of the stuff that I shaved apart so that way I could just snap it and have it fall apart. And I'm gonna try a ferro rod start. So anybody with photosensitivity, look away. I was gonna do a video on this fire starter, but I wanted to test it out before I did that. Before I dedicated a whole video to making it. I need to woof it out a little bit. It's not catching enough of the spark. I have a lighter with me, but I just wanted to see if it worked with a ferro rod. There we go. As long as these wind gusts don't put it out, we're getting anywhere from 25 to 35-mile-per-hour gusts. So, I mean, definitely not the best weather to be doing this in, but I enjoy this weather. smoke. We got sparks. Thought I brought the blower rod with me. Hey Brenda, how's it going? Uh, it was in the teens earlier today. I'm pretty sure it's in the single digits now or below. We got flame again. Got to be a little more gentle with it. Wind kicked up and pushed it out on me. Slow and steady wins the race, right? That's not even getting to the fire starter part of it that I made. That's just the tissue lighting up, or paper towel, I mean. And I have a deer skin laid out for me to sit on once I get this going. So I can chill out and hang out with you guys. Hey, Big Matt, how's it going? Yeah, if it's cold, I gotta have snow with it too. And snow in 20 minutes is about 10 minutes ago. It's already started snowing. We're just getting to maybe an inch now of snow. Try to make sure I put the dry side down on the wood. Anybody else have OCD? Or did I already say that? At least when I'm building it, I like it to be level. There we go. Oh. Okay, Brenda. Oh. So now that I got the fire going, there, had to find the right cup holder. I'm going to try to have this close enough that I can see the comments. No, it's not a big lag. I haven't seen all the comments, so I just keep going back to it. Oh. With the irony, starting a fire with a ferro rod, lighting a cigarette with a torch. So everybody can enjoy their conversation in the chat. I'm going to try to remember the stuff that I was going to say while this little fire kicks up. So part of the reason why I do things like this, just randomly go out in the middle of the night, start a fire, is goes back to what I was saying before. Somebody grabbed the bot. When it comes to comfort and being used to things, you you're never going to be comfortable doing things unless you go out and do them. That's pretty much what it boils down to. Nice lounger. You're never going to be comfortable doing things and spending time in the outdoors. I know people who are scared to just go out for a hike because you never know what might happen. You're 2 hours from home. You hike in 2 hours. That's 4 hours, 8 hours. That something could happen. But if you're confident in your own skills, you're confident in how you do things and your experience, you will be able to if you're comfortable doing things and your skills, you'll be comfortable pushing your limits to see how far you can go. That's why I actually feel grateful for my insomnia. I'm grateful for my insomnia because it's self training. My body is self training itself to deal with sleep deprivation. Thanks, Squirrel. Uh, my body self is used to sleep deprivation. So if ever I was in a situation where I had to go 2, 3, 4 days without sleeping, I could because my body knows how to function with less sleep. Because I have gone 100 plus hours without sleep. My body just through different periods of my life, my body has done that. And I am grateful for it because it does prepare me for situations and things that could arise. And I'm one of those people who I think of, my imagination goes wild. I think of so many different scenarios where things could happen. Like I'd said in a previous video when I was riding my bike everywhere because it's my mode of transportation right now, I was confident that my EDC, the stuff I wear every day, I could survive with it because I had the skills and knowledge and tools required to be able to, if someone ran me off the road and I ended up 20, 30, 40 yards into the woods, trapped under a tree or some crazy stuff like that, I would be fine because I could make a fire, make a signal fire, or I had my whistle. I actually don't have it right now. I took it off the other day. My whistle on my paracord bracelet. I'd always be okay. I know I could be found. I could get my position discovered, and I could get someone to come and rescue me. So the likelihood of that scenario happening is probably beyond 1 in a million. But I still felt the need to be prepared for it because I thought of it so it could happen. And that's the way a lot of people got to look at things is just the fact that you could think of it happening makes it possible to happen. I've never been driven off the road. I've never been driven off the road, but I, am prepared for that. Going in the woods, there's bears, there's coyotes, there's coy dogs. At any point in time, something could come up. There's, a feral bobcat. I'm sure there's some mountain lions roaming around occasionally. They've said that some have moved farther south. So it's like, all of those possibilities are there. Thinking about them, preparing yourself mentally, whether that's through skills or just thinking through the process of how you would react, will help you be more prepared to react that way when it happens. Ooh, that wind though. So you could be in any situation you find yourself in, people who like to go out boating. What's going on, Mike? People who like to go out boating, at any point in time. One time when I was a kid, I was out on a motorboat with my landlords at the time. Me and their kids were friendly, and my sister was dating the son. So we went out and we're hanging out with them at their spot on the lake. They had boat, jet skis, and stuff like that. But we were out on the boat fishing. An hour and a half in, and everything is all fine and dandy. But then we start seeing a little bit of water pooling up in the bottom of the boat. Didn't know what happened. We didn't hit anything. No idea. 20 minutes after that, we got a couple inches in the bottom of the boat. So we had to put all the weight to the front and hightail it, try to get the nose lifted up, but also stay. I don't know. I can't even remember exactly what the thought process was there. But at the time, I couldn't swim. I'm out in the middle of a lake that has, 30 to 70 foot drops in it. Uh, I'd be screwed if someone didn't decide to save me. So I never wanted to be put in a situation like that again. I didn't want to feel like I had to rely on someone else to survive. So I've gotten better with swimming. Uh, and whenever I'm in a situation like that, I keep I'm more mindful of things that are that put me at risk, like water pooling up in the boat. If I'm out in the canoe, even when I was paddling, as soon as I saw just a little bit of water built up in the bottom, I started paying attention to see where it might have been coming from. It's if you guys remember, if any of you guys remember my older videos, or if anybody goes back and watches my older videos, my canoe has it's what is it? It's an Explorer. It's a Coleman Explorer or something like that. I can't remember, but a Pelican Explorer. But it's made to look like a Radisson. Hey, Johnny Small Pepper, you're not new. You commented on something before. And uh, it's the canoe is made to look like one of those Radisson canoes, which has the two flotation lines to keep it from flipping. And but it's drilled in. Uh, so those drill points with those bolts going through, they have washers, and some of them have silicone. But sometimes, before I put a sealant on it, there was a couple that had a couple little small trails of water. So I always kept an eye on those, and I watched it and I checked it religiously because I didn't want to just all of a sudden have two ports coming in and just spewing water in and have me out in the middle of the lake. So it's just because I had the experience of the boating issue before, I'm what most people would call paranoid about being on the water in a boat, or anything like that. It's You learn from experience and you prepare yourself and you pay attention, think about it, and it'll help prevent issues in the future. And the only thing about the log cabin setup with the fire, it always takes some adjustment to keep all the wood in the flame. But it's taken a bit to build up. And most of this was just frozen stuff that I picked up off the ground from my wood chopping area. But the log cabin style does help dry out the wood, so when you do adjust it, it lights up pretty easy. And if you are really good at Jenga, you can keep it together as long as you adjust it right. Wind turned. There we go. You know, I gotta say that fire starter is working out really nice. Going on, Lance? Yeah, never gas. Not to mention, I've watched people struggle trying to get a fire going with gas, and I just shave a few things, cut a couple of pieces, and I got it lit up. And especially because most of the time, if I do a fire, I'm either sitting directly next to it, cooking over it, smoking skins, or making jerky. Gas is bad. The poplar has these air pockets in it, so when it snaps and pops, it releases the air, and it makes that air jet go through the fire, and it keeps blowing out the flame. So I got to keep blowing on it to get it going. But no, that worked out pretty good. So I'll be doing a video on that fire starter and how I make it. Yeah, you need a dryer to make dryer wood. Putting socks on a fire, that's gonna smell bad, especially if it's my socks. But I mean, technically, it's a natural fire. The only thing that wasn't natural really was the egg carton and the paper towel, but that's just wood particles. Going on down east. Vaseline and cotton balls definitely is a good fire starter. Uh, it's kind of the same concept I'm using here. I used paper towel, put in some wood shavings, that were around the wood stove, and so I knew they were dry. And I put in some bacon grease, rolled it up in the paper towel, and then shoved it into an egg carton. So that's how I used it. Yeah, a lot of my older videos, I use birch bark. Uh, I have some birch here. It's just the silver birch, so it doesn't paper out as much until it gets older. Hey, what's going on, Mayor? I think it's the first time you've popped up in one of mine. Good hanging out this morning. It was a nice little boost I got. Wish I could have hung out, but I had stuff to do. Yeah, a lot of people make those videos starting a fire with Doritos. But then the wife might get mad at me because that's one of her favorite chips. That's right. I do remember you popping up a while back. Yeah, it's been a while since I've done a video anyway. Have a good one, Mayor. Have a good day at work. So I really believe that, being in the outdoors, being a survivalist, what's going on, Rock? It's the majority of it is definitely mental. It's psychological. It's getting the right mindset, changing your thought process to consider things most people don't. Waiting for the wind to turn just right, and just blow on the fire for me. Yeah, Mayor's awesome. Yes, being comfortable being by yourself, loving your own company is definitely a lot of people can't do it. A lot of people can't just be. Down east. That's awesome. I'm actually hoping to set up a bushcraft camp. Well, still working up the details and everything else, but I am setting up a bushcraft camp survival school, which is pretty much just going to be just that. It's going to be an off-grid camp, hanging out by a running brook, and just keeping it natural and teaching people skills and love for the outdoors. Uh, wow, 12 viewers. That's the most I think I've had in one run. Oh, But yeah, most people can't just be in the outdoors by themselves. What time would that be, Brenda? Eastern Standard Time. What time would that be? What's going on, Gary? I'm just chilling out, lounging on my deer skin. It's actually super comfy. Still have to put it on the stretcher board and everything else and chew it, but it's it was softened, and then we had a cold front come through and it froze, so it's at least preserved and it's not going to have an issue. I just gotta thaw it out. It should be soft once it's thawed because it was already had the moisture content in it, and then I can chew it, stretch it, and put it on a rack. I'm excited. I have 4 more skins to do. So that's exciting. Oh, I honestly think I just didn't make enough kindling. I was in a rush, and I'd already taken too long to set this up and get ready. Don't you love that? You move one twig half an inch and it lights up. Yeah, I've been thinking about doing one as a straight up rawhide. It's true, Mike. I'm so torn. Like, I want to be off grid, just living off the woods, living off the land. But at the same time, I love my YouTube. I love sharing everything on my YouTube. So it's like, I like not having a lot of technology and I like not doing a lot of things with tech, but having it, War Directo. Thanks for stopping in. Uh, it's funny, Gary. There's so many times I'm watching a video and I'm like, oh man, that reminds me. That happens when we get into a really good movie or we are binge watching a show on Netflix or something. We'll get like 5, 6 episodes in, not realize that I forgot to run down and check the wood stove. And I'm like, oh damn, all I got is coals left. You just want to struggle, make me look bad. Oh, dude. I don't know if this was like an actual survival situation or if I was actually out camping. I would have taken my time. I would have gotten a ton of kindling done. I would have grabbed some stuff that was up off the ground instead of kicking off snow to get to it. I would have been smarter about it. I was just messing around testing out a fire starter. But it burnt for like 20 straight minutes, so that's not a bad fire starter. Instead of downward dog, that was called fire dog. Thanks for connecting, Warren. I got a couple of mods that should have gotten that bot for me. I don't have my other phone to make anybody else a mod, so I don't have my other phone right now. The one that dropped the weird link. I got it. And we have a ton of wind up here, and when it does go the right way, it does kick up the fire, but it's when it goes the right way. That Jenga ship. I just thought of a really cool idea. I do some fishing, all that fluff and stuff. It's just, the frozen lake and everything else. And I got the bot, and I thought I did make you the mod. But I do some fishing, but right now, it's frozen, and I'm busy doing this stuff right now, so I don't have a lot of time to go fishing. I will be. If I can find somebody with an ice shanty that wants to let me hang out, I definitely will. Or I might go and just break a hole in the ice and do it without the ice shanty and just deal with the cold, because it don't bother me. See, the silver birch just doesn't like to come off. But if you have a sharp enough knife, you can peel the whole layer. Oh, for everybody who goes and collects birch bark from a living tree, please make sure to never go all the way around it. It needs that. I watch videos sometimes and I see people run that line all the way around. I would rather grab and make a gouge straight down and pull out just like this chunk of it off of a whole round tree rather than strip it, because birch is one of the few trees that still grows and processes oxygen in the winter. Without any leaves, it still photosynthesizes through its bark. A lot of people don't know that. So, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, birch is one of the, in my opinion, one of the best woods out there, simply because of how fast it grows, how useful it is, and it definitely has a great impact, a good impact on the environment. So, bonus tip there. But I know I've been slacking on putting out videos. Uh, I know I've been slacking on putting out videos. I'm trying to stay what I call video positive, which means since I started YouTube, I'm trying to make sure that I have more videos than I have days on YouTube. I think I might have fell behind, and I actually might be a little video negative. Got to redo the count, but this is my kick in the rear to get myself back on track and going more. Oh, that's rough, Mike. Time to collapse the fort. Ah, getting attacked by my wood. And I don't have my blower rod with me, so it makes it a little difficult. Have a good one, Gary. Hey, Scott. I missed you. There you are. Ah, missed that too. This is the fastest my chat has gone through. Awesome community, guys. Happy everybody's hanging out and talking. I was hoping to not struggle with the fire the whole time and actually chill out next to it. But, these things happen. Get a lung full of smoke while I'm at it. Yeah, Brian, it is pretty cold here. But like I was saying at the beginning, I'm pretty used to it. And yeah, it was smoking pretty good there. Oh, yeah, I get it going, and then the wind comes through and pushes it out on me. Grabbing the hatchet. Oh. Smell that birch bark burning though. Smoking pretty good now. Night, Mike. I just took my time a little bit more. Did I miss something? So, Brenda, whatever was going on, I don't think there was an issue. Nothing but love here. I didn't see any problems up there. People are having overlapping conversations, so something might have got crossed. I'm not big on the he said, she said. If people got an issue, no one's getting blocked. People just keep your drama to yourselves. There's no reason for it. People joke around, have a good time. I'm all for it. Excuse me. I got hot dogs in the freezer, but I already had dinner. There's probably 2 hot dogs right now, curling up on the bed with the mama. That's about it. Or they're being brats. Very, very possible. It's after midnight. Trying not to be too loud. Mother Nature, give me a hand here. Blow it this way. What's going on, Jay? No, Mike's Fishing was pointing out a troll that was farther up the way. It had nothing to do with you. There was one of those bots posting those porn links. Going on, Clayton? Oh, my bad. Hi, Joy. My bad. Oh, Mike shared me on his community tab. That's awesome. Thanks for joining, Clayton. Mitch Brugger, greetings, Earthling. Duggar, sorry. When you put the hatchet in the snow and you hit a log underneath. And that's all right, Brenda. Gotta say, my biggest lesson in life and the best advice I could give anybody is people take things too seriously. People take things to heart way too fast and too much. And there are so many points where there's misunderstandings that cause huge issues that should have never been an issue in the first place because it was a simple misunderstanding. So always wait for clarification. Literally every time. Upstate New York, it's almost 2 a.m. here. 8:30 for you, so that'll be 9:30 for us. We'll try to be there. Oh, mornings can be busy sometimes because making sure the wood stove is going, walking the dogs, making coffee. Sometimes we lose track of time. And like I already said, I wasn't trying to struggle with the fire this whole time, but not in conditions to have a fire. Oh, so gonna break my ankle. No, I'm just hanging out in front of the cabin. I'm just chilling out outside. I enjoy doing this sometimes, so it's pretty much just for fun. If I got cold, I could just go inside and say screw it. But Look at that, Clayton. You're good luck. And then I jinx it. Well, I'm stubborn, so even if I'm struggling, I'm still going to see it through. Yeah. Just every time I have a good ember pile going, the wind blows it out the end. Clayton, you were there for a minute. And if it came down to the fact if I had to get a fire going or freeze to death, it'd already be gone. I'm just chilling out, talking. There was more than once that if I just kept sitting here processing and throwing it on, it would already be going. But I'm just chilling. Like my jacket's still open. I'm not even zipped up yet. And the wife said it's like 9 degrees right now. Yeah. But actually, speaking of that, it will be that case when I do my survival challenge. It will be I have a half an hour to get a fire started, or I will be losing body parts. The wife is very nervous about that challenge. What's going on, James Guy? Thanks for stopping in. Well, my survival challenge, I will be falling into the freezing creek a little bit farther down, and I am going to come out of the creek and get a shelter and fire set up and dry my clothes. And I have to get the fire started within 30 minutes because most of most of the time out here the temperature is in the singles to the teens. So at that temp with a wind chill, I only have 30 minutes before frostbite sets in. So I will have to have it going to start warming myself up within that half hour, or else things will start going purple. And that's also another reason why I'm doing this. Um, I'm not trying to get it done within the half hour, obviously, because I've already missed that 2.5 times over. But I will be doing it on live stream, but I won't even be caring about the chat. I won't be paying attention. I will just be attempting to survive, plain and simple. So um, it's definitely going to be a challenge. It's going to be a true show of skills, and it'll be a proving point for myself that even if I'm out there in the middle of the wilderness, hiking, doing whatever, and I slip and I fall in a creek, I will have already done it once. I know what I need to do, and I'll be able to get myself warm, be fine, and survive. So, like I said before about thinking about those scenarios, when you think about those scenarios, it's you got to prepare for them. So, I definitely got to do that soon. Um, Definitely not one of these days where the next couple of days is going to be in the negatives before wind chill. Uh, I'm ballsy, but not that ballsy. Joy, what are you trying to understand? Some going out in my audio, or did I lose you in the conversation? Not gonna hurt myself. If I don't get it done fast enough and I need to bail, I'll come inside and warm up by the wood stove. It's to teach myself, to prepare myself. I'm a survivalist. I am an outdoorsman. So I want to know that I can be confident in my skills and my experience. If that situation should ever arise naturally, I will have already done it myself. Not going to purposely get frostbite, not going to purposely hurt myself. It's exactly, be an awesome learning experience, and being able to share that. Yeah, exactly. It's to be prepared. And the way my mind works is I can never be overly prepared. It's, you know, some people call it paranoia. I just call it being smart. It's like uh, preppers who live their entire life uh, training their kids how to do a bug out scenario, how to pack up stuff and be able to leave within an hour, and bug out to your location and never return home and be prepared for that. It's kind of that same thought process, but more specific to different situations. Like, for no other reason than wanting to have the knowledge and experience, I learned how to do sutures and emergency medical treatment and field medicine and you know tr- trauma medicine and stuff like that. I taught myself and learned that because I wanted to know in case something happened. And because of that, I saved my wife's life when she slipped with a knife and cut her wrist open. She almost bled out, and because I was fast enough and smart enough and I knew what to do, I was able to keep her from losing even a minor amount of blood, closed it up, and when she ended up going to the hospital later on, the doctors even said that I did an amazing job and saved her life and kept her from having damage to her tendons and her nerves. That might have done the trick. I will go through and make more people mods so that way they can take care of it. Yep, they went to go do it again and they got blocked. Thanks, Johnny. I'm at the point where I just want this fire to start so I can just chill out and lay on my deer skin. Look at the stars. And Mars, by the looks of it. That's cool. See? Pop. Flames out. Those freaking air pockets, man. It's all right, Joy. I appreciate that, people actually show some concern and that, just popping in, just joining, you care enough to care. So few people actually care nowadays. I mean, caring about some random person really shows your character and your value. And don't ever apologize for being a good person. Thank you, Scott. I wish I had the modern native hoodie to do the survival challenge in because that would be awesome. Thanks, Clayton. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for joining the tribe. I will. I will save you a piece of the poplar. I've got a bunch that are still attached to some bark that I haven't used for fires or anything. So that'll still be around no matter what. That's what she said. Thanks for joining, Johnny. And I have a blowing rod. I just don't want to go back inside and stir up the dogs again. Oh. Yeah, it would be blazing if this stuff wasn't buried out or took out from underneath the snow and frozen. And it's getting there. I've just been talking too much and not focusing on actually setting up a fire. I mean, it's sitting on a chunk of dead birch. Is actually what the whole bed of coals is. And most of the bark right now is frozen. And the damn wind keeps blowing all my cherries, all my embers out of the freaking fire. Scott, do you see any weeds? They're all buried under snow. Oh, struggling for an hour and a half. Go freaking figure. And that is why you take your time in prepping your materials beforehand. Yes, I did. The banging is that cold. What I explained the other night. But the cold and the wind making the porch creak. That shouldn't be too much longer. Got the fire going now, though. Looks like it's going to stay started. As soon as I scoop the fur forwards up. So, just trying to think. I had a few different topics I wanted to cover. Things kind of went in a different direction as they usually do. I love you too, baby. Get some sleep. Like I said, I shouldn't be long. You'll wake up when I come back in. I believe there should be a slow down and breathe day. Where people get back to their roots, chill out, relax naturally, and just enjoy being with nature, stepping away from technology and all the drama that goes with that, and just enjoy. Like it's going, but I'm still blowing on it just in case. And originally, I thought this was in frame for that. didn't want to make you guys go to death with the cough. I mean, even though it's just smoldering, it's still pushing off the heat. Dealing with the cold is really hard for most people. I'm strange. Part of it is the nerve damage. I don't feel the cold all that much. I notice when my hands don't want to work right. Well, that's most of everybody. Just when the fire gets started. Go figure. But uh, just the stress relief alone from being outside is a really wonderful thing. Like when I lived in a apartment complex, just being able to go out on the balcony, get some fresh air, look at the sky. You just looked up. You kind of forgot that you're in the middle of the city. And I think more people need to do that. More people need to slow down and just relax and take a breath and realize there's so much more to life than what they are getting out of it. As I've said in other videos, it's experience and experiences. Getting out and doing something gives you the experience of doing the things and the activities that you're doing. But it's also those experiences that you get to have. That's where some of your best stories will come from, your best life lessons, your fondest memories. You will never have any of it unless you go out and do something. And this is also why I prefer the Dakota Firehole, because that wind current, the air current that comes through the hole from the air draw from the heat going up the exhaust port, it just keeps the fire going and gets it going for you. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. I'm pretty sure it might be Venus, but I'm pretty sure it's Mars. It's red, reddish. Tempted to turn off the floodlight to be able to see the stars easier, but then you can't see me. There we go. The wind is helping me now. Thank you. There, it only took, almost 2 hours, but as I said, I was almost paying more attention to the chat than I was trying to get the fire going. I love that mix of smoke, smelling the birch smoke and the poplar smoke mixing together. Just very nice, nice smell. Good night. Happy your legs are feeling a little bit better. Hopefully you can get some sleep. I totally missed the cloud comment. So I mean, not bad for 7 degrees and dropping. Using a ferro rod and a little homemade fire starter. So who are the two hanging out? Gonna say hi? Let me know who you are. Oh, one. Well, to anybody who's made it this far into the replay, think if you've made it this far into the replay, put it in the comment on the bottom of the video. Champion, because you're a champ for making it this far. Put that in the comments, and I'll do something. I'll do something special. Do a special shout out video, or when I do my gifts, I'll do a specific little additional gift for my champions that make it through my replays. And except for the couple of pieces of birch and the birch log that's on there, this poplar isn't the best wood to try to use to start the fire. Especially when you drop some of this stuff. I mean, it is going. It's just struggling. That fire starter was definitely a good fire starter, though. For one little egg carton section, burning over 20 minutes with what I put inside of it, that's going to be video worthy for making a video to show how I made it. Looking at it, trying to figure out what the issue is. The wood should be dry enough by now, just the heat it's pushing off. Because, like I said, I'm still feeling heat from it, even though I don't have that much fire. Oh, it's almost comfy enough to sleep out here. And I could probably put my gloves on over my hand and just sleep on a deerskin. The wife would be mad, though, if I didn't go back and cuddle with her for a while. And I mean, you can tell how much water and moisture was in it. Literally have water dripping off the end of the logs. That's why it smokes so much, too. Woo. Okay. glad I'm wearing a bandana. So I went to go start saying it earlier. Uh, I fell behind on my videos, so I'm definitely going to be kicking it up a notch the next little bit, so that way I can start putting out more good quality content, useful content. I like the informative, useful. These long hangout lives sometimes feel like just a lot of time with not a whole lot coming across. It's just, hanging out, chance for people to socialize. Got a couple people who joined the tribe because they discovered me or someone shared me, which thanks again, Mike, if you watched the back half of the replay that you missed. Uh, Definitely appreciate all the support, all the love, and everybody hanging out. It was a fun night. Seemed like we had some good interaction. That was the most I think I had on my live stream. Haven't done it much. Haven't spent a lot of time doing lives because I've been doing the shorts and the standard content, and just doing lives can be difficult sometimes, especially when you are capturing your life. There's a lot of things that go on that you either don't want to put on YouTube, you can't put on YouTube because it'll be a copyright. Because hanging out and doing stuff, we like to listen to music, so I'm not gonna be able to put a lot of our day to day stuff on YouTube just simply because of that fact. What's awesome is this is burning a bowl in the half of the half log section with the little curve in it. So like some of the outer layers of the log is what I laid my fire on. So it's actually burning a divot right into the log. It's kind of cool. Flame on. Didn't mean fall. Wood that has been drying for 2 hours. Starting a fire is never the struggle, because even the smallest spark can start a fire. It's keeping it going and having it be efficient. That's what most people struggle with. It's what I'm struggling with right now, but that's just because of the conditions and the wood and the fact that I didn't take the time to prep the wood beforehand. Sometimes rushing around, you know, these are the consequences. But it's definitely going. It occasionally needs a little bit of an assistance, but Oh. And I mean, I've literally made a fire directly on the snow and had it burn down and melt the snow, 2.5 feet of snow to be exact, to make a bowl where I knew the fire pit was. That was up to my aunt. Big rock fire pit covered in snow, and I wanted a fire anyway, so made it on top and found the fire pit. So, 2:45 in the morning. Probably like 5, 6 degrees now, or lower. It's supposed to drop in the negatives in the next 24 hours, so could already be negatives. But if fire is officially going, smoky. I'm still here. I didn't disappear. Oh, I really can't wait to get all these furs done, all these hides, and have. I'm gonna make a lounge chair or a moon chair kind of style using uh, one of the skins, and gonna be making a big cloak, hooded cloak. That'll take probably 3 of them. One goes to my buddy Pat, great dude, great supporter of mine, been around since the beginning. Something he said really like made me feel good about doing my channel in general is he said that because of me, I'm a big reason as to why he has made a point in trying to get out more this past year, going camping, going hiking. And that's the whole point of this. I want to share my love and enjoyment of the outdoors and nature, and hopefully, people pick up just a small portion of it at least to want to go out and enjoy the outdoors. And hey, the wind helped me. And that's really all I want. People pick up some wisdom, some knowledge along the way so they can be safer, more comfortable, and enjoy the outdoors. It'd make it really worth it for me because I'd feel better knowing that, you know, maybe some portion of what I have to share helps someone. That's why I try to have fun with it, have a good time, and share what I do. because I find that joy and humor are some of the most memorable things. So it's some of the easiest ways to get a message across, share some wisdom. Think about some of the jokes, the rhymes, the sayings. So many things are kind of said in jest and humor, but it's very real lessons, very real knowledge that has saved people's lives because they remember something funny or something that rhymes or a saying or a joke. It's easier for people to remember and process. So I hope in the long run, some of what I share and some of what I do sinks in and helps people in the long run. So, and of course, the fire's going, and I'm almost ready to just chill out and just enjoy it for a little bit. Still have one person hanging out, whoever you are. And to everyone on the replay, thank you for sticking around. No, that's a nice fire. And I gotta say, even though it's not done yet, this fur is really helping me with the snow. Coldest thing's on me right now are my knees. That's because I was on my knees doing the wood, and they're a little damp, and I got knee problems. So, snow. If I had some maple on there, that'd be like the perfect mix. Put that in a cologne, I'd wear it. And true to my word, true to what the wife said, I got the fire going. Starting to feel the stiffness at my fingers. Sorry. I don't know if that was any better, but so in hindsight, some things that would have made this a lot easier, obviously, processing down a lot more uh, tinder, kindling, and smaller fuel, putting up a wind block so that way the wind wouldn't keep struggling with me and throwing my embers around, or just making it a Dakota fire hole. But again, with the snow, that's going to be difficult. Frozen ground and snow doesn't make a good Dakota hole. Although I wonder if with deep enough snow, if I could make a Dakota fire hole, that would work. I'd have to have a drain port for the water that would end up coming off as it melts out its hole. one of those experiments to try someday. Hello to whoever has joined. Got the fire going, hanging out. If anybody has any questions, I'm open to a Q&A on any outdoor survival, bushcraft, native, any questions anybody might have. Open up the conversation. Floor is open. Right. Alrighty. So that was hanging out with a modern native, watching me struggle with the fire for a while. Hindsight is 2020. Thought it was going to be a bit easier because I did split down the wood and try to get to the inside, but so much of it was frozen. We'd had rain, and then it froze again. So because it was split, some of it was chopped, and the logs were sitting upright, so they absorbed a lot of water and froze up. So it took a while, but it's going. Definitely not to my target of less than a half hour. Should have had this in a half hour or less. But I'm probably going to call the live stream right here. Thanks everybody for joining. Thanks everybody who joined the tribe tonight. And thanks again to Mike for sharing my link out. That was awesome. So, until next time, get out there, be a native, and go beast.